and welcome back to me taking back my life and you taking back yours. So one area that I am working on is getting better at pulling out my phone and getting footage of what I'm actually doing in the week, because when I watch vlogs and things like that, I'm such a visual person, so I love seeing what the people are actually doing. So I got some aspects of what I did this week. I did not get others. So let's just jump into what I did do this week and what I did get footage of this week, and we'll just pat ourselves on the back for that. And then after that, we'll recap some other stuff here. So without further ado, here's what I did this week. Okay. It's Sunday. It's Grammy's Day. And I have friends who have invited themselves over to come watch the Grammys. No, it's not Grammys. I keep getting yelled at about this. It's the Oscars. Gee willikers, this is not my strong suit. So people are coming over. I've been cleaning, I've been doing Sunday stuff, and also I'm not thrilled with my nail color. It was supposed to be like a dark purpley kind of color, and it's okay right now, but sometimes it looks like burny purple, and I totally get that there's purple people out there. I'm just not a purple person. So it's a lot, and sometimes having such an abrupt nail color, you're like, oh gee, it kind of clashes. Anywho, that was very big disagreement. Sunday, I don't want to go for a run. It's been raining all day. It's wicked cold out there, and now it's wet and cold, but I am going to go for a run because I chose to run a marathon. I chose to get in shape. I chose to change my life. So I need to do the actions that are in alignment with the things I chose. That was my pep talk to myself because I really freaking needed it today. So if you're watching this, go do something you said you would do for yourself, because keeping commitments to yourself is the best and most beautiful thing you can do. So green juice so that I have some nutrition and good stuff to put in my body. So let's see what I put into this. Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday morning. I'm clearly still waking up. We're about to go for a 2-mile run. So that's gonna be wicked awesome. Yesterday didn't do really any physical workout because I was still pretty sore from my Saturday hike, which was 6.5, 7 miles long. But we're gonna go crash this run and maybe get a beautiful sunrise. So, see you soon. Okay, so that is some of the fun stuff I did this week. There was definitely a lot more. So I know I went for 3 runs this week, which is pretty good. That's my minimum amount of runs that I want to do in a week. And that I'm getting really close to being able to do my full 2 miles, which I feel like there's a lot of shame around just saying that I can only do 2 miles right now. But you know what? We're releasing shame. Doing things are great. So I'm almost at the 2-mile full mark, and I hear once you hit 3, it gets easier. My biggest thing is breathing. So one thing that I want to dive into is working on my breath work and like learning how to breathe properly. And I think that will really improve my running. As you saw, we went for a little over a 5-mile hike, which was pretty treacherous. There's this awesome app that I'm gonna drop below or on the screen too, that we've been using. And the thing I love about it is it helps you find trails in your area, as well as people write reviews. And we have been, the past 2 hikes we've done using this app, we have read the reviews beforehand, which is something I never do normally. And they talk about what direction to do the hike, because they're all loops, because I prefer a loop hike because I don't like to do the same thing twice. And both times that we've done it, we've been like, thank God we have done the loop the direction that they told us to, because if we hadn't, the hike would have been a horrible experience. But otherwise I was like, oh, this was tough, but like, it was great. Also really love this app too. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'm just showing you what I use and what I love. I love that this app can show you where you are in the trail. So at any moment you can stop, and half the time you don't have service, at least in California where we're hiking. So you can show it will show you where you are in the trail, and if there's like a crossroads, it will help you know which way you want to go and not go, so you don't get lost, which is super beneficial in the middle of mountains in California. So that was hiking. I've been pretty good. I have to do push-ups every day. That's like a commitment I made to myself. I think I've only missed like 1 day. And I'm looking at starting boxing. I think I found a boxing coach, and now it's just getting a time and date set up for my first boxing lesson, which is awesome because I know I need some more HIIT workouts besides cardio and then like scaling up the side of mountains, because that's what our hikes really are. So that is fitness. Up next is food. So my biggest thing that I know has always been a problem in my life, because I grew up with 2 older brothers who are like over 6 feet and were football players and wildlife biologists and just crazy fit individuals, is that I overeat. I was always eating as much as them. They're 5 and 7 years older than me. And so I have a really, what's the right word for this? False illusion to how much I actually need to eat to what my body needs me to eat. So I have started working on that. And what I did is I got myself just these like normal sandwich size containers. I got glass because I'm trying to have better things in my life. So I got myself 5 of these, and what I do is I cook up a big batch of something delicious that I love, and then I portion size it out to what the proper portion is that I should be eating, and I put it right into this container. So it no longer makes a decision on if I want to eat more or extra or overeat. I'm eating a whole portion or I'm not eating it at all. So that has really helped me from overeating. And then I've had what I call healthy snacks in the house. So I'll have bananas or clementines or apples, or just some sort of like fruit that's in the house, so that if I want to have a snack, if I'm not fully satiated from what it is that I did eat, I can just have something healthy instead of going or making another dish that is not necessary for me to eat. I have pretty much removed all of the non-necessary junk foods that are in my house. So I don't have chips, I don't have snacks, I don't have like munchy snacks that aren't healthy for you. I don't really have ice cream in the house anymore. I don't have any of that junk food that I used to have in the house. I don't have that in the house anymore. And that has wicked helped me with it's no longer an option, right? Like I'd have to go to the store if I want to eat those foods, and I don't want to go to the store. I go once a week and that's enough for me. So just removing the things that are not healthy for you or can lead you to make bad decisions at the end of the day. One thing I do keep as a snack or as like a treat food is popcorn. I love popcorn, but what I do is I can make a video sometime or add it into, I think I might have footage of it. I take just popcorn kernels that you can buy right in the popcorn section, and I heat those up in a pan, and then I'll either put a little bit of vegan butter on it, or I'll put a little oil or coconut oil on it, and then nutritional yeast on it, and that's really delicious. But that way I know exactly what's going into it, and I get to choose the portion of how much I want. It's not a predetermined bag with artificial flavors and shenanigans in there. That's not going to be ideal for my body. Another thing that I did is I tried making this new drink. I've seen that it's trending, and so I was like, you know what? Let's do what the trenders are doing. It is, I'll put the portions below, but it's 2.5 cups of water, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and half a lemon. And you bring the water to a boil, add in the cinnamon and the lemon, and then drink a cup first thing when you wake up in the morning, and I've been drinking a cup when you go to bed. At night too, half an hour before bed. And it's supposed to basically help your digestion and speed up your metabolism and help you process your food more efficiently and curb cravings. I've only been doing it for, today is day 2, so I don't really know if it's doing results. People have said that they've lost weight without doing any extra exercise on it. For me, it was more just helping getting my metabolism back on track, and it's actually really delicious. I thought it sounded disgusting when I heard it, but I was like, hey, I'll just try it, right? What's the worst that could happen? And so I tried it, and it's delicious. Like, I'm excited to wake up in the morning and drink it, so that's another reason that I just like adding those things. If there are any vegan or not crazy unhealthy things, I will determine if they are or not. But any health hacks or tips that you have that have worked for you, or ones that you might want me to try, feel free to comment them below, or go over to Instagram and Dakota L. Wallace. I'm gonna put it right here, apparently. And you can, I will think about trying it if it feels in alignment with myself. So I think next week we'll be able to see if that drink has been having more of an effect on me, or not. Another thing is, the sun's finally starting to set later. So in the last week I was working from home, which was such a blessing. So me and my roommate have been doing a lot more sunset walks on the beach because we're so blessed to live close to the beach. But even if you don't live by the beach, a sunset walk or an afternoon walk is amazing. Just making sure that I'm getting out in nature every day, and just so much gratitude for like my body and where I live, and seeing other people really happy has really changed the reflection for the end of the day, is what I like about it. Because so often we can start off really happy and productive in our day, but then by the end of the day our day is happening to us instead of for us, and we're a victim of it. And I feel like these walks really just help reset the afternoon and the evening so that you can have those back and just really enjoy them. So if you have a walking buddy, or you like walking alone, or you have a place to walk, 10 out of 10 recommend. So that is my health stuff. Yeah, it is. I'm going to talk about the personal stuff that I've been doing. So the first thing is, I've really been being non-negotiable about reading every morning when I wake up and every night before I go to bed. And for me, I just have a page number because right now I'm trying to read, which I'm actually ahead, but trying to read a book a month. So I know how many books I need to read in the morning and how many I need to read by the end of the day, at the end of the day, to finish. So right now I'm reading The Law of Divine Compensation by Marianne Williams. This was actually sent to me by one of my mentors, and it had just taken me a little time. This book I am loving. She also is the author of A Return to Love, and she's a Course in Miracle. I'll drop links below for all of those on Amazon. Student. So it's really just talks about how to not be a victim to your surroundings, how to call in and create and enjoy the things in your life that you want to be, and how to almost be more present, and that if it's money, or if it's love, or if it's really anything you want in your life, it's not you taking that from someone else and them not having it. It's you creating that within what you already have in your life. So I've really been enjoying this. I'm almost done with it. I'm so sorry. I have something in my eye. That is not cute. My apologies. So that is something that I am definitely loving reading and loving reading this book. So I recommend reading that if it sounds interesting to you. Another thing is I was listening to a podcast, and I think we talked a little bit last time how I was feeling like I was just in the middle. Like, not that I wasn't happy for where my life's at now, but I just feel like transition and change and being the wildflower spirit that I am, that my life was becoming a little too predictable and that I needed some unpredictable aspects in it. So I was listening to a podcast, and the guest on the podcast was Alex Banayan, who is an amazing speaker. I've been blessed enough to meet him a couple times in my life, as well as hear him speak. And he's the author of a book called The Third Door, which is a have to read. I will link that below as well, and Alex too, because he's the best. But anyways, he was in a podcast, and he was like, if you're feeling a little stuck in your life, if you take this thingamajig I'm about to tell you about and implement it into your life for 30 days straight, don't miss a day, and make it just a really firm practice, you will at the end have to have some sort of answer or understanding or calling to like what it is that you need to implement more of in your life, what you need to take away from your life, and really who you are. So the three questions are, question one is, what filled you with enthusiasm today? And he's really good when he talks about this, but like, it's enthusiasm. Like, you were like jumping off the rooftop, like want to do it again and again and again. Like, you loved it so much. Enthusiasm, not just like it was nice or like I liked it. It was like enthusiasm. And then the second question, question number two, is what drained you of energy today? So these are the things that you're like, I would be such a better person, or have so much more energy, or just be able to do more if I wasn't doing this activity anymore. And then the last one is, what did I learn about myself today? And I love that question because I write that one out as a reflective question, and I just love it because it feels like, for me, it's a positive twist on you're always learning and expanding and growing each day. So here are like the moments to recognize that and document those. So I basically have mine built out, and I have the day on the top of it. I'm planning to just go through the whole book. So I think that might take me like a little less than 90 days, depending on if I do one page or if I do 2 pages per day. Sometimes I have a lot more to say about what I learned about myself. But I'm only, what day am I? Today is day 12. So I'm only 12 days in, and I'm loving it. I'm already feeling better and more connected and in alignment, and just freaking amazing. The third thing, or the next thing, I don't know where I'm at, is I was starting to feel just bogged down, like just a lot of like excess stuff in my life and like in me, and I was like, why am I feeling so like heavy? And so one aspect that I took a while ago, I had watched, I think it's called Tidying Up. It's the Marie Kondo Netflix thing. I'll put the real name somewhere. And so she talked about picking up your clothes and asking, do they bring joy to me or do they not? And if they don't, thanking them and removing them from your life. So I had this feeling going on in my life that I had so much clothing in my closet, but I had nothing to wear. Like, come on, raise your hand, women, like if you've ever felt that, and maybe guys too. And so I was like, great, all this is doing is it's making me, every day that I go to get dressed, feel super guilty that I have so much, but I'm not grateful for what I have, and that I'm just feeling discouraged. So I went through my closet and I think I have some footage of that, maybe I don't, who knows. I use my GoPro, so it might be a little dicey. But so I went through and I took everything, mostly everything, out of my closet, and I had to consciously put it back in because I knew that was a big thing for me, is that like if I just went through the rack, I wouldn't have taken so much out. So I only put back things in that I loved wearing, loved how I felt in, and was excited to put on my body. The other things I then broke up into 2 piles. One pile was donate, and one pile, because I have a really hard time letting things go, is I put those items into a bag under my bed, or a bag somewhere in your house, and I leave them there for 1 month, and then in 1 month I come back and I look through those items and I do that same process again. Am I ready to release this, or am I holding on to this, and what is the reason that I need to hold on a little bit longer? It's hard because a fair amount of the items that I have in my closet, some of them are very sentimental to me, so even though I'm not wearing them and loving them, there's just a lot of memories, and I think that comes with having a deceased parent, is that there's just a lot of memories that can sometimes last in clothing. So I like to be gentle with myself with that, but it already feels so amazing to have a closet that's just full of things that I love, and it feels so much lighter. And I also went through, I have my shoes, and I went through my shoes and got rid of shoes that I wasn't loving anymore, and even found some things that I'd forgotten that I had, and I'm just excited to get dressed again. And also wow, I'm so sorry. And also, there's a lot of space for new stuff to come into my life, and I think sometimes we hold on, this is the metaphor of the episode, but we hold on so much to our past items and beliefs and way of life that it doesn't allow space for the new to come in. So that felt so good. And then on top of that, I cleaned all the surfaces and dusted everything in my room, and extra made my bed. So that felt really, really good, and I really recommend, if you're just feeling bogged down by all the stuff in your life, to go through your closet, because that's a place that, and I have so many books that I'm waiting to read, and I separated into them books that I want to read now and the books that are oh yeah, I should read those, and then I took the ones I want to read now and put them in order of how I want to read them, so I'm excited about picking up the next book and starting that journey. So that's kind of a lot of stuff that I have done, and when I think about it that way, in the past week, and I'm feeling good. I already feel a lot better than I did last week, and I already feel just excited. I've also started, one thing I do when my current life is a little bit off from where it is that I'm trying to go, is I find people who are already living the life that I want to be living. So if that's on YouTube, or if that's in a show, or if that's on Instagram, but I'll find people who are already living a very similar life to the one that I want to be living, and that I resonate and connect with them, and then I follow those people along, because I feel it can help put me in that energy of it's so possible for me to get that life, and it's so possible, and that's how I made this jump out from Boston to California, was doing a very similar practice. So that's something else that I've been doing to elevate, and most importantly, a lot more dance parties. Having dancing and having fun and just being playful. I think being playful is such a key to releasing things. Okay. Well, if you've made it to this part of the episode, thank you. I appreciate it, because I talked a lot. So it's the body update time. I don't have the same outfit on yesterday, and I don't have super close fitting clothes. This is me already body shaming myself. Look at that. That's so fun. Whitewash jeans just make you look a little wider, so I just wanted to say that, but y'all know that. I feel stomach wise, not a ton has changed. I feel it's pretty similar. But there was one morning that I woke up and I felt really good. So that was like a big change, and like I feel like I've been being kinder to my body and kinder in the thoughts towards myself. So I feel like if my body hasn't fully shifted in, we've also had Valentine's Day, which was like quite a bit of sweets and food, so that might not have helped. But I just feel that I've been working on being a lot kinder. Not working, through the changes I've made, I've been consciously being kinder. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking around. And I hope that y'all have an amazing day. And let me know if there's anything more that you want to see from me, if you want to see more food, or if you want to see whatever you want to see or hear, or have questions or need support on, drop a comment below, send me a message on Instagram. But I would love to connect with you. Otherwise, I'm just sitting in my living room talking to a phone by myself, but feeling uncomfortable. Have an amazing day. Bye.